Welcome into episode 7 of Diamond Discussion. Currently, there's chaos all over the league. State of the union for both Mets and Red Sox fans right now. The Red Sox clean house. The Mets can't buy a win right now. The Cubs and the Dodgers had a heated series in Los Angeles. The Yankees have their 8-game winning streak snapped. Plus, the Phillies are quietly one of the worst teams in baseball with an extremely high payroll. Mike, Kieran, how are you guys doing today?
What's going on, Bugle?
Not much. Not much. There's a lot to talk about.
I've definitely been better. I'm supporting my new team. If everyone, this is the Hartford Yard Goats Double A affiliate, about half an hour down the road. Their major league affiliate just swept the New York Mets. So I mean, it's all is good in Hartford land.
There you go.
In terms of the Mets, bad. Had never been worse. Never been worse.
Mike, how was your Monday today?
Oh, my Monday was great. Honestly, enjoyed volunteering for the veterans. Got to play some golf after. It was a great Monday being out in the wild, not thinking about the Boston Red Sox. It was a good Monday. It's one of the better Mondays I've had in a long time.
That is great to hear. I will start off by telling you boys and the audience, if I can get these pictures up here. Correct. The current American League standings, sitting atop the league in the AL, is the New York Yankees at 18-10. Behind them is the Tampa Bay Rays at 16-11. The Oakland Athletics, a sneaky 15-13. This week, the Detroit Tigers had a great week as they come in fourth place at 15-14. Boston Red Sox are second to last, 11-17, but they have been winning the last couple days. So maybe a new regime change could help them. In the National League, the Atlanta Braves sit with the best record in all of baseball at 20-9. The Dodgers sit right behind them at 19-9. And the Padres and the Reds tied for fourth place, 18-9. Oh, actually the Reds have one more loss, 18-10. Unfortunately, two of the biggest powerhouses in all of baseball, the Phillies and the Mets, sit at bottom two in the National League, something that nobody saw coming this year. Boys, we're going to get right into it. The Red Sox, Mike, they clean house. And right now they sit 10-17. They get swept by the Yankees at home, which is something that usually doesn't happen. All coaches, including Alex Cora, Jason Varitek, and others, all gone. This weekend they cleaned house. Chad Tracy right now is your interim manager, and your interim bench coach is Jose David Flores. I don't know much about him. But the last couple of days, you guys split with the Tigers, got swept by the Yankees, and then went on to win 2 of 3 versus the Orioles after firing your entire coaching staff. Let's talk about it, Mike. Alex Cora, the rest of the coaching staff got the boot. What's going on over there in Boston?
I mean, to an extent, it's just beating the horse. The horse has been dead for seasons. Just this poor horse, just dead for seasons. It's the same story, though. It starts at the top, right? It's ownership, John Henry, then his little mouthpiece, that weasel, Sam Kennedy, he trots out there to take bullets for him, which Sam Kennedy is the biggest weasel on planet Earth. Talk about a cuck. He is the definition. However, I'm sure he's getting a hefty paycheck to spew John Henry's lies every single season. So, hand up, I'd probably take that job if I'm Sam Kennedy. Going into the firing, like, the team needed change, but this is the wrong change. My initial thought on it, honestly, was that Breslow probably said, I'm going to fire one guy, either probably the hitting coach, like, he should have been fired. Their offense was atrocious and is. And I feel like Cora is just a rider for his guys. I was like, if one goes, we all go. That's my initial feeling. It'll never come out. They asked Breslow about that yesterday in the press conference, and he just shockingly didn't give a real answer about it. So, I found out Saturday night at a wedding, so that's a good way to ruin my night. So didn't enjoy that wedding too much. Nothing against the wedding. It was more of the Red Sox news, of course.
Stupid wedding.
Yeah, I saw a tweet. It was like someone literally in the same boat. They're like, I got this news when I was at a wedding, and I got the Rafael Devers news when I was also at a wedding. And he's like, I'm not going to weddings anymore.
Weddings are a bad place.
Well, yeah, seriously for that guy.
No, but it's scapegoat season. It has been.
Yeah.
Ken Rosenthal has literally said it, and it's so true. Like the Red Sox have just been a dysfunctional organization for years now. It's sad too. A lot of the fans will, talk a big game on Twitter and whatever, and they will still show up to America's most beloved ballpark every single game that they're home. And this guy will never learn his lesson. I have free tickets in 2 weeks, and guess what? I ain't going. I
don't blame you.
I ain't going, dude.
I don't blame you.
What'd you say?
I do not blame you. I don't think either one of us blames you for that.
The organization just keeps trotting this mediocre below mediocre, obviously, if they're second to last in the AL, out every single night, and the stupid fans keep showing up. There's still fans like on Twitter who defend Craig Breslow that I see. It's just impossible to believe. Impossible to believe. I'm not a big Trevor Story guy. At least he had the balls to come out and
I was going to ask about that. What are your feelings about? Because now today's second game in a row, he's not. Has he played at all since this new guy got hired, or no?
No. He was literally genuinely so pissed off. I think when the news first came out, he was just boycotting, I believe.
What do you think's going to happen from? Are they going to DFA him? Or are they going to just let him sit on the bench for the amount of money? You can't do that. That's absurd.
It's going to be baseball, dude. It's going to blow over. He's going to go back out there and play subpar shortstop. So it is what it is. Unless new manager, I don't know a thing about him, so I'm not going to pretend I do. Obviously, he has experience with Marcelo Meyer being the AAA manager formerly. So maybe Marcelo plays shortstop now, which should have always been the case. So I don't want to make it to be like Cora was this perfect manager who had made no mistakes. However, through the chain of guilt, he's probably third in line. So obviously you go Henry, Breslow, who literally admittedly in his press conference said that the roster he gave Cora was a challenging one. Yeah, no shit, pal.
He said that?
Yes,
that is absurd. I did not even know that. That's crazy.
You're just yes, it was a challenge.
That's insane. Absolutely
just
insane.
Openly coming out saying you're bad at your job. It's hilarious. And the thing is, it's a power struggle too. I mean, most organizations that function correctly, the GM and manager usually coordinate things together, talk. It was just a power struggle. Who can get in Henry's ear? Who had more power? And then, of course, like we all saw, Breslow unfortunately won the power struggle, and here we are, second to last place in the AL without probably a top 3 manager in all baseball, I would say. So yeah, not a good weekend for the kid at all.
Well, going back to the Trevor Story thing, and he's actually a pretty big topic on this weekend. He came out and said that basically the players did not want this to happen, and his comments led to some reporting that the front office didn't run by this decision with any of the players. And Garrett Whitlock came out and said that the front office made it very clear their job is to play baseball and to stay out of the front office. But I feel, Mike,
they got told to shut up and dribble.
They got told to shut up and dribble.
Yeah,
Mike, what are your thoughts on this coming from, that's not just from a fan's perspective, but if you're a player anywhere around the league, why in the hell would you want to come to a team like that?
It's literally so horribly run that, unfortunately, I'm not surprised. John Henry won't even field a question from the media. You think he's going to talk to his baseball players? After they're all pissed off at him because they fired a great players manager. It's pathetic, dude. It's imagine working at your job and whatever, call it your boss or the president just steps down or gets let go. And then you have questions to your superior and they're just nope, not going to talk about that with you. Have nothing to say about it. You're not allowed to ask questions. Just show up tomorrow and keep doing your work. Well, that's how these players probably feel. They have every right to be pissed off. I would say, just based on some of Cora's comments, I don't think him and the younger players mesh that well. And then the vets love him, and there's just no surprise. But Roman Anthony, we could go down the rabbit hole, dude. Roman Anthony going out in Boston Monday night after the marathon, getting hammered, and then coincidentally tweaking something in his back and not playing at all in the Yankee series. and then as soon as Cora gets fired, he's in the lineup again. There's deeper issues here that we'll never know, unfortunately. But overall, bottom line, Red Sox organizational malpractice has been going on for at least 3 seasons now. So nothing they do surprises me because it's just mistake after mistake. Starting with the Mookie trade, it's been all downhill ever since. So
yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, right now, this is a team that made the playoffs last year. Arguably would have beat the Yankees if they had Roman Anthony. Your fan base expected them to take you guys seriously this offseason. And I was listening to Carabas earlier this morning, and he kind of said, you knew this season was going to be a disaster the minute they would not give Alex Bregman a trade, no trade clause. That just shows where the front office is in their mindset. They're not taking it seriously, and the fans feel it, and the fans are pissed, and the fans are not happy, and I don't blame you guys for having those feelings.
It gets to the point where, like, you just expect bad news from the Red Sox, which sucks as a fan. Like, even though the season was in the tank, like, this month, like, I was very negative. I still am, obviously. But, like, in the back of my mind, like, the little birdies have been like, oh, it's still April. Like,
you're always hoping you're wrong. You're always hoping that you're wrong.
A little bit of hope.
1,000%. And then they do something like this, and you're like, oh, great. We get to look forward to 140 games or whatever is left of Chad Tracy now. Like,
yeah, for sure. Sticking on the Red Sox, not for too much longer. We got a lot to talk about tonight. But, Mike, there's a big thing that went around Twitter last week, and Danny Boy was sending it to us in our chat. The Red Sox, they were selling Yankees merch in your fan shop. How do you feel about that, dude? That's insane.
Oh, my God.
Let me hear it.
I have this fond memory, right? Obviously, love going to Fenway Park. I've been going ever since I was probably like 4 or 5 years old. First Red Sox-Yankee game I go to. Fans purchased authentic Derek Jeter jerseys to throw in the urinals so people can piss on them. Like, that was a thing. I finally remember taking a piss on a Derek Jeter jersey. I was like, wow, someone bought this, and I'm just peeing on it now. And now we've transitioned from that good rivalry stuff to John Henry trying to make any penny he can by selling opposing team merchandise in the pro shop. This isn't some random vendor on the street. This is the actual pro shop ran by the Boston Red Sox selling their arch rivals merchandise so John Henry can make a couple pennies. It's pathetic. It just goes to show this team's just a joke starting at the top. The owner doesn't care. I mean, it's just like, dude, it's beating a dead horse. It's pathetic. Like, I have no words for that. Like, as unsurprising as it is, like, it's still pathetic. The right move as a fan, like, buddy, if I'm pulled up and I had a few drinks, I'm taking all that merchandise off the shelf, throwing it on the ground, and probably stomping on it. But the fans are soft. It's just, it is what it is, dude. The rivalry is not the same. I mean, it hasn't been for years, realistically, since the Red Sox started operating like a small market team. So, I don't know.
This is the first year where I feel like it's lost its juice.
Yeah, I mean,
last year it wasn't that long ago where last year had plenty of juice. The year before that,
I stopped taking them seriously.
You're not wrong that the Sox have been getting worse over the 7-year stretch and operating like cheap, but
right.
Like what just happened this last weekend, it was like there was no juice to that. And like, it's not even because like the Yankees swept it's because it was just uncompetitive and not really entertaining baseball pretty much on the Red Sox part. Like the Yankees are playing, the Yankees playing good baseball right now. Like,
I mean, like, as much as I hate to say it, but like the Yankees are a well-run organization and pretty much always have been. And then the Red Sox have been well-run for a short period of time. And like, you can see drastic differences throughout the entire organization, not just the product on the field. So
you see plenty of teams in Major League Baseball right now who, just because they spend a lot of money, does not make them well-run organizations.
For sure. Right. For sure. Well, right now, the Red Sox fans and all of Boston is visibly upset with the Red Sox. Adding insult to injury, Sonny Gray, new pitching acquisition, ended up on the IL with hamstring tightness. So right now, you got Trevor Story fighting back against the front office. You guys lost one of your better pitchers to the IL. The offense, the last couple of days have been better. The new interim manager, maybe he can rally some of your younger players. You know, like you said, he managed your younger guys down in the minors. Maybe he can connect with them a little bit more and get just a little bit better baseball out of them. But right now, Boston just doesn't look like they have their old identity, and they just look a little bit lost. Which gets us to our next topic.
Oh, one more thing, Evan.
Oh, okay. Yeah, what up?
Brian Bayo.
Oh, boy.
Get this guy to the moon.
Yeah, he's pretty bad.
He is so bad. He's really never been good. Like, he had decent numbers last year, but, like, if you watch his starts, there's always traffic on the bases. He can't strike anybody out. He's pitches to contact, which is fine.
Your defense isn't good enough behind him to do that.
No, not at all. Not at all. And then my last point, Craig Breslow's first move is CBO, or whatever you want to call him, GM. He traded Chris Sale for Vaughn. Chris Sale is dealing again. This guy, like, he's made. And then we can talk about Kyle Harrison, too, who we dealt away, who struck out 12 guys yesterday.
He looks good.
It's just, I could go on and on. Next, I'm done.
He looks good.
You do have two good lefties. You have two good lefties also you got to be excited about with Tolley and Early.
Yeah, but they got, the return in Durbin isn't what the fans
That's
want.
who you traded for Durbin? Yeah. Oh, my God.
Oh, and by the way, the year before, we traded Quinn Priester to the Brewers, who was an absolute animal last year for them.
Oh, my word.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah,
wow.
Not good over there in Beantown. We're shooting over to Queens, and things somehow are even worse. The Mets right now sit with the worst record in the MLB at 9-19. They had a 12-game losing streak. They just got swept by the Rockies at home. They scored 1 run in 18 innings yesterday in a doubleheader against Colorado's best, the Rockies. Their offense, 2 runs or fewer in the 14 of 28 games. Statistically, it is one of the worst offenses in baseball.
Say that again. Say that again.
2 runs or fewer in 14 of 28 games. Statistically,
that's so bad.
One of the worst offenses in baseball. Right now on the IL is their, debatably captain, Francisco Lindor, out for a couple months, calf strain. Last week, Juan Soto came back from a calf strain. His wasn't as bad as Francisco Lindor's. On the pitching side, Kodai Senga absolutely struggling. But Nolan McLean is keeping his pace. Looks like an elite pitcher in this league. Right now, the team, the fans, the city, they don't know what to think about it. There's no identity. There's no offense. And right now, they have to go on without Lindor. And surprisingly, Mendy made it through the day without getting fired.
Oh, my
Kieran,
God.
I know you've been waiting for this all day. Give it to me. What are your thoughts on the Mets?
I mean, listen, man, like this, I really don't want to spend much more time talking about the Mets this year. They're really not worth the time. Like, we kind of talked about it during the week. Like, it's just going to be the same kind of stuff over and over again. They play the same game over and over and over again. Like, it's clockwork. This team, they can't do a thing right, on or off the field. This single game ticket embarrassment. Have you guys heard about this or no?
I've heard a little bit
I
about
heard
it.
you
I saw
said
tickets for like $5 or something.
No. Okay, so you didn't hear about this.
No.
Mike, they didn't put tickets on sale for like the last 40 home games of the year. They only put like single game on sale for the first 40 because they're like, oh, well, April, March, May, a little colder, less fans may come out, but we're going to rack up a bunch of wins. This was their thought process. We're going to rack up a bunch of wins. And then we can jack up the prices. Dude, it's going to cost a shiny nickel to get into Citi Field in the middle of August.
Wow.
Crazy. So they can't do that, right? This is, and today is the Mets' funeral. Their season is over. There is nothing left for them to do other than look forward to the trade deadline and excuse me?
Wild card dead.
No, there is nothing that Evans, say the stat again. Say the stat again.
The run one?
Yeah, the run one.
2 runs or fewer in 14 of 28 games. So it's essentially
That's
half their game.
50%. Essentially, it is half. It is half. I'm your math teacher.
I don't know
it's
if they're
half.
playing tonight.
They're off tonight. No.
Oh, okay.
But if they did play tonight, they would score 2 or fewer runs. Anyway.
Yes. Not to cut you off, but if anyone is in the chat, vote in the poll. Should Mendy keep his job or get fired? If you vote on the poll, it increases our engagement, and sometimes it helps YouTube push our stream. Whoever's in the chat, vote in the poll. Kieran, go ahead.
Attaboy Bugle. Love that. So here's why the season's dead, Mike. No team in the history of Major League Baseball has ever made the playoffs after losing 12 straight games. The Mets now have to play at a 94-win pace to make the playoffs. They haven't won 10 games yet. They haven't won 10. How are they going to play at a 94-win pace? They've got the fewest runs in baseball. They are last in the league in OBP, slugging. You could only assume OPS, WOBA, and WRC plus. Dead last. It's cliche to say this, and it's all over Twitter. It's all what the Frank the Tech saying. This team, they don't seem to have any guts, any fight. They're not connected in any way, shape, or form. And I don't know what it's because. If it's because Mendoza needs to go, if it's I don't know. I'm sure that would help a little bit if the Red Sox are winning with the manager bump. Maybe the Mets would too. They wouldn't be good enough. But again, you know what I'm going to say? It all lies on David Stearns. He has just constantly tried to take the square peg and be the first guy to be like, look, it goes in the round one. I'm telling you, it does not go in the round one, David. Jorge Polanco doesn't go to first base, David. Bo Bichette doesn't go to third base, David. Tommy Pham can't be hitting in the lineup every day, David. We can't be doing this, David. We cannot be doing this. Okay? It all falls on him. If anyone on the team should be getting fired, it's him. Okay? It's probably going to be Mendoza. I don't know when. I cannot believe he still has his job today. They got swept by the Rockies. They looked embarrassing. 1 run in 18 innings. It's pathetic. But, Evan, if it's not up already, I need you to put the tweet up about –
You want the tweet up?
What the Mets should have done this offseason and just did not do.
All right, it's up. Do you want me to read it for you?
Sure, go ahead, yeah.
All right. This is a tweet that Kieran found today. It is from Kyle Glazer. I don't know. Does he work for The Athletic or someone like that?
Well, if he works for The Athletic, I don't know.
He tweeted,
might not be credible.
The Mets were a top 10 offense last year in nearly every single category while ranking 18th in ERA and 22nd in WHIP. Their solution was to remake the entire lineup while adding only one meaningful starter in Freddie Peralta. One of the most baffling, nonsensical off seasons in all of recent memory for the Mets.
I just don't know how you can disagree with that in any way, shape, or form. The lineup not only was good, it had been relatively consistent. I went back and looked today because I obviously found the tweet today. Every year since Alonso came to this lineup, they have had the floor as a team has been a 725 OPS, sometimes in the upper 700s. It's a team that has hit and a core that has hit consistently. What we have not seen as of recent is the pitching. So what does the boy genius GM do? Well, he uproots the entire lineup, the thing that's already pretty good, to try to make it better, try to put the square peg in the round hole, and slaps the Freddie Peralta Band-Aid on the pitching and says, here you go, we're going to magically get better. It's crazy to me. Now, they're underperforming in so many ways. A lot of guys are underperforming, but it's very clear that the team does not work. They are going to struggle. No team, all these Mets, this is one of their 5 worst starts in the history of the franchise. This is the same record after 28 games that the 1962 Mets had. That was the first Mets team ever. The 3 of us could have been playing on that team.
I saw that stat too. That's insane.
It's never good to be grouped in with the 1962 Mets. None of those teams, by the way, have won 70 games. This is going to be a team that's going to struggle to win 70 games this year. They're going to be very, very bad. And I don't think they're going to reap the benefits of a draft pick because the GM spent $100 bajillion in the offseason.
You lose those picks if you go over the luxury. Yeah. Yep.
I don't think you drop 10 spots, something like that. So if they finish with the 5th worst record, they're picking 15th.
Do you know if they gave Pete the qualifying?
No, they probably didn't. Honestly, knowing them,
that's kind of good.
I do not.
I do not know.
I do not though.
I don't know if you saw this video of Bo Bichette after yesterday's game.
Oh, I did.
He was just sitting there alone in the dugout.
Oh yeah,
Kieran,
I saw that.
what do you make of Bo? What do you make of him right now in that video?
That right there, if any teacher out there, as a fellow teacher myself, is doing like a lesson with younger kids and like the concept is the grass is not always greener, that's your video. Just play that video. I mean, he chased a bag. He came to the Mets. He's learning that our fans suck and are stupid. And we're run by stupid people. And we're a stupid franchise. Everything about them is stupid. And he's going to be stuck here he's either just here for 1 year and he has to opt out after playing terrible, or he's stuck here for 3 years because no one's going to pay him what the Mets are paying him. So it's a lose-lose for everybody. But there was one thing, Evan, that I wanted to walk back from last week.
Okay. What is it?
And again, I don't want to waste much more time talking about this. We'll talk about them at the deadline, hopefully, when they're selling it. But I really, there's no need to talk much more about them after this. But the one thing I wanted to walk back from last week.
Okay.
I do think that the position that the general manager has put the team in, I don't think it'll happen at this deadline. It could maybe happen this offseason. I don't know, though. The damage that David Stearns has done to this team, and with how old Francisco Lindor is going to be next year, and he's got the hamate this year, he's got the calf this year, the moves he has made of completely destroying this lineup honestly might have forced his hand to trade Francisco Lindor. I don't think it'll happen this deadline. I don't think it'll he's got 5 years left. It could most definitely. They might be put in that position. It's that bad. It's that bad.
Holy crap! I did not see that coming. Oh,
it's that bad.
I told you.
It's that bad.
I wasn't trying to cause issues last week. It was a legitimate topic.
I think you thought it was. There's no way it's going to happen this trade deadline. I fully. There is no shot that happens. But with all due respect, like to this team, when you go into the offseason next year, number one, it better be with a different general manager, and number two, anyone who's not named Juan Soto and Noah McLean should be available for trade.
I agree.
Give me blame. What are percentages of blame? Owner, manager, GM.
The owner, it's tough to blame. The owner's just stupid and out of touch with the fans. Like the owner has given the resources. He needs to shut his stupid phone off and get off of Twitter forever. Every time he tweets, they lose 10 games in a row. It's ridiculous.
Percentage.
They wanted to.
Give me a number.
For him, it's like 5.
Yeah. Okay.
The GM, it's at least 60.
Fair.
Not to cut you guys off, but we do have a viewer
like
in here. Fred McAfee said, awful trade. Trade Soto instead of Lindor. And he said Mendy should be fired. Fred, I don't think they're trading Soto over Lindor, buddy. I think Soto's there to stay.
I think Soto's there for 15 years. And I don't disagree with him that Mendoza should be fired. That, like, something needs to happen within the organization. But the reason, again, that I don't want when they fire Mendoza, if they do that this year, sure, we're talking about it then. But like, there's not much more to talk about. The team doesn't score a lot of runs. The starters are decent, but they don't go that deep into games. The bullpen is way worse than it was last year because you don't have Edwin Diaz, and that's
for sure.
That's the Mets, baby. That's the Mets.
One thing for the Mets, though.
All right, Mikey.
That GM job is enticing because you will have the resources you need to build your vision.
No, you're right. That's why I don't blame the owner.
Like the Sox, you get nothing from ownership.
I agree.
That
I agree.
GM job in the Mets will be 100% more enticing. They could probably pick whoever they want. The Red Sox,
our fans, you got to, dude, the fans suck. Like, we are bad. We go online and we say dumb, bad, stupid, hurt, not myself. But, like, there are Met fans who are just absolutely crazy.
You hit it right on the nail. I mean, but and we won't spend too much more time. We're going to wrap this up here quick. I want to end it with this. You say, the owner, if he should get blamed and that he shouldn't because he's really out of touch with fans. Another question we should be asking ourselves, is he just out of touch with baseball? What is his knowledge of the game? He doesn't understand the game of it.
Most owners are.
Right.
Yes,
but
and no, but they're signing off on these contracts, and they're signing off on,
It's the bottom line, Evan. You said it.
No, but you don't blame Stearns for, or excuse me, that you don't blame Cohen for at all because in 2021 he tried to get involved more and he's like, I'm way in over my head right now. Let me hire someone who knows what they're doing. That's what he thought Stearns was doing. Like if Stearns brings him something, he's like, yep, whoop, sign off on that. But like there are moves like bringing Alonso back last year, that was a Cohen move. Bringing Soto in, that was a Cohen move.
Well,
like there are certain moves that the Mets have made that are Cohen moves.
Didn't want to do those though. He didn't want
Well,
Alonso.
I'm not. I know. No, I know. And he got his way this offseason, and like it.
So, but Cohen's got, he has good instincts when it comes to that. Where was he when they were offering Bo that contract this year? You can't give Bo a contract like that.
I think he just trusts Cohen just wants to go out and make like the splash. Like he's trusting David Stearns to like build the rest of the team. Like,
yeah, I mean, Fred McAfee commented back and said Mets should hire Cora.
Oh, yeah. I agree with that as well.
Mets or the Phillies? I think the Phillies will because I think
if the Mets don't, the Phillies are going to. Exactly. Yeah, and that would be bad because then he's in our division.
I just think the Mets are a highly analytical team, and Cora fights back on the analytics. Dombrowski
knows how to manage stars, dude. Look at the 2018 Red Sox.
He's going to go to the
Mets would thrive with Cora.
Yes.
They need a GM who knows how to spend, not one who has won in a small market. And you're like, oh, if he won in a small market, he'll win in a big market. Get a GM who knows how to spend money and has proven that they can win by spending money. But again, that's enough of the Mets.
I got
you.
And
do we want to move on to the Yanks, Evan?
Yeah, we'll move on to the other borough in the Bronx. The Yankees quietly the last week or two have been one of the hottest teams in all of baseball. They sit at 18-10, one of the best records in the AL. They went on an 8-game winning streak until yesterday when they lost their series finale against the Astros. They swept the Royals. They swept the Sox in Boston. Right now, Aaron Judge has 10 homers. Jose Caballero, 377 batting average his last 14 games. Jazz Chisholm in Houston, big production. Just last night, the Yankees called up Jason Dominguez with Shavihi going on the IL. They still haven't put Stanton on the IL, so they're down a pitcher this series against the Rangers. So they called up Dominguez. He's DHing today. Stanton day-to-day with a calf injury. Garrett Cole, Carlos Rodon, rehabbing down in the minors. They also sent Luis Gil down after his wretched start against the Astros yesterday. They are one of the better teams in baseball right now, and their pitching has been phenomenal. I don't know if you guys are caught up with it, but everyone besides Luis Gil has been very good, and I'm just loving the team right now. They're playing the way that I've wanted them to play the last few years, to exactly do a T. And unfortunately, this week, Mike's guy, Anthony Volpe, comes back. And I don't want him to come back because Jose Caballero has been quietly raking, and he's been very good at defense. Jose Caballero,
he's a good, clean shortstop out there for you.
Volpe in Tampa has went on a hot streak in the box. He's hitting for average. He's hitting for power. He's at like 10 stolen bases already. And you know what? A lot of the defensive plays that he's made over the last 7 days, Volpe could simply not make. The arm strength is not the same. Caballero, although he is a super utility role, has a real case to keep the starting role from Anthony Volpe, because even down in the minors, Anthony Volpe is still making an extreme amount of errors. His arm is just not that good, and he just, for some reason, the glove went downhill from a couple years ago. Jose Caballero has been one of the brightest spots of this team, and I love him. He's an absolute pest. He's a pest in the box. Absolutely. I know Volpe probably is going to get that start this week when he comes back, and Mike's going to be laughing at us because he knows that means a lot of errors at shortstop. But
he's going to make the team better, Evan. I hate to say it. Volpe's literally going to make your team better.
He hits, man. He hits.
It's a good thing in the long run. However, it's very funny to roast him when he makes errors.
You think he should play over Caballero?
I'd ride the hot hand, dude.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I agree. But like, do the Yankees do that though? Like like the Mets are highly here we go, Kieran. Analytically driven. Like the Yanks are really. The Yanks are really like, I don't want to say Boone is a puppet, but like he really follows the analytics. Like there's not a lot of gut in there. And like if when Volpe comes back, the analytics say to play Volpe, it doesn't matter. If Caballero could be hitting 800 in the last 14 games, like Volpe's in the lineup. You know what I mean?
You are 100% right. But this year, for some reason, Aaron Boone has been managing completely different. In the past years, if the analytics said to play Ryan McMahon against a righty, McMahon's in that lineup. But the last 3 weeks, for some reason, Boone's been managing a little bit differently. He's giving Rosario the starts against right-handed pitching. He's not always playing Jazz in the matchups that he should. He's sitting Austin Wells. He's letting Rice go out there against left-handed pitching. For some reason, I'm not sure what it is. Aaron Boone is managing this team slightly different this season, and I think it has something to do with the way that the Yankees just went through that swoon last year where he stuck and he stayed with the analytics, although they weren't working. So right now he's riding the hot hand, and I think personally he might actually give Caballero more run than Volpe to start out of the gates this week, just because he's been proving people a little bit wrong the last couple of weeks. He's been managing to the point where fans go on Twitter and they're like, wow, McMahon is sitting against a righty tonight. Rosario, who's the hot hand, is playing against someone who his splits don't really match up against. But we'll see. I agree with you. You're 100% right. Boone does follow the front office to a T. You both are exactly right. I agree. But we'll see.
But no, I mean, like you said, it kind of happened this year, right? Like they got us to that. They were like, what, 8-1 to start the year, 7-1 to start the year, something like that. They kind of, I don't want to say they swooned, but they played about 10 games where they were not playing good, clean, and the best baseball. And a lot of it, I saw a lot of fans online going like, why is Ben Rice not playing? And like that's a valid question. That dude can hit, man.
He can hit.
Like he should be playing every day.
He's had a couple home runs, 3 home runs against lefty pitching the last week and a half. So he's proven he can hit lefties. Last year, his slugging was extremely high against lefties. It was the average that was not good. This year, he's doing it all against lefties. So the Yankees are.
I'm sure as time goes, and like this isn't me being a hater, but I'm sure as time goes on, like they're gonna find like these guys all get paid these guys also get paid to get guys out. So like they're gonna find holes that he has against lefties, and I don't think he'll continue to put this level of production up. But like you're never gonna see. It's like the Mets would do this stuff all the time, and I don't want to bring it back to them. But like I would hate like with Conforto when he was coming, it's like, how are you going to know that Conforto can't hit lefties if you never play him against a lefty? Like you got to let the guy hit against if you you're just telling me, and I'm just supposed to believe you that he can't hit lefties. Show me he can't hit lefties. He has 3 home runs. Okay, I guess he's here to stay.
Lefties right now. They're cherry picking. They're going against not
which
the
is
most
smart.
Crochet,
put him against Chris Sale.
Christopher Sanchez. The elite lefties in the league. They're probably not going to play him against.
Right.
But right now, our starting rotation has been something to write home about. Max Fried, Cam Schlittler, Will Warren looks fantastic as his second-year breakout. He has completely changed his attitude on the mound.
He changes your whole rotation if he's even a bot. He doesn't even need to be as good. It's just the bottom half guy. He changes that rotation. Entirely.
He looks very good, and he just gives us a lot of depth because. Now, in the past, Yankees would have rolled out Luis Gil a couple more games. We rolled out Marcus Stroman till his arm fell off. We rolled out Cookie Carrasco last year, even though he had like an 80 ERA.
Oh my God,
this year, Luis Gil, a couple struggles, and they're like, hey, buddy, you got to go down in the minors. That is not prototypical of this Yankees team. This year, they're just making the moves. I think it's because they have the depth to do it. We have a lot of young pitchers in the minors. We have Colin Rodon a couple weeks away. They're not going to put up with mediocrity because they don't have to this year. It's just different.
The place to be.
I think for you guys, I don't want to say it all comes down to the pitching, but like that's also been the difference. I feel like in the first 10 games, those middle 10 games, and these last 10 games, basically with them, it's been like those first 10 games, the pitching was lights out, and like the lineup was still kind of just getting into the groove of baseball season to start the year. Right, it was March in New York, but they were winning games because the pitching was just not giving up any runs. Then they started to kind of dip. They were giving up a lot of runs. Bullpen was blowing leads. Starters weren't going very deep, and you saw it happen there. If the pitching, I don't want to say like unbeatable, but like if a Yankee pitcher goes out with that lineup behind him, and unless you're going up against a guy obviously like a Scooble or Crochet, a guy who can shove and could potentially shut you down on the other end. If you're going up against this Yankee lineup or you're going behind this Yankee lineup, excuse me, and you're pitching 6 innings, giving up 1-2 runs. I mean, it's going to be tough to see them lose more than 5% of those games. Like
for sure, you're most likely going to win that game. Most likely. I mean, the bullpen is not rock steady, but Camilo Doval had a good outing the other day. David Bednar is usually nails. Tim Hill.
It's good enough to survive until the deadline.
It's good enough
at this point. At this point, that's where you need to think because like you can always add more at the deadline.
For sure.
You got 2 people right here whose teams are going to be selling. So you want Devin Williams back?
Take Chapman back.
I'll take Chapman and no to Devin Williams. I told you he's not good, man. I told you. I watched every single pitch.
He did just have a good outing, actually. So respect to Devin Williams.
When his head's not in it, and he showed this a lot with the Yankees, it's not really it's mental. He just throws meatballs, dude.
Did you see he was in the game where he let 5? I'm sorry to keep going back to the Mets, but when he gave up 5. I think he gave up a couple hits and a couple of walks.
Yeah.
Excuse me. He literally, like, in the middle of his meltdown, looks to the guy on deck and is like, he's in front of the pitch clock. It's like, oh my God, dude, you throw a strike. You're a loser. What are we doing?
That's what I dealt with all of last year. I told you.
It's like, oh my God. Yes. He's just not built for New York.
No, he's just not. But we'll conclude. The Yankees, one of the best teams in the AL, dealing with some injuries. Stanton might be going to the IL. Dominguez has been called up. We're just waiting for the return of Cole and Rodon. Good to see they're playing the Rangers tonight for a 3-game set. So the Rangers are throwing out their best pitchers, DeGrom, Eovaldi, and Leiter. So we'll see what they do. Moving on to the next. DeGrom's been looking vintage. I don't know if you guys watched this series at all this weekend or saw it on Twitter, but this series had everything. The Cubs versus the Dodgers. Comebacks, drama, a little bit of FU in those games, a little bit of chippiness between PCA and the Dodgers fans.
Yep.
The Cubs,
PCA's a dweeb. He's a dweeb.
Yeah,
hey,
we'll get into him.
He fights. I mean, for context on the Cubs were on a 10-game winning streak. The Dodgers beat them yesterday, ending that. Game 1, Alex Bregman, clutch home run. Dansby Swanson, clutch home run. Game 2, the Dodgers exploded offensively. I mean, this series literally had it all. And it's really good to see the Cubs, after losing a player, not really losing, but they let Kyle Tucker go. They bounced back this season, and they're one of the better teams in all of the NL. Pete Crow Armstrong is going at it with Dodgers fans. Craig Counsell versus Dave Roberts. Bregman is getting booed in LA, hitting nukes. I don't know if you guys saw this series, but I want your thoughts on just what you saw. I mean, this was a great series this weekend. It really was.
No, like you said, there was a lot. I saw a bunch of stuff on Twitter. I saw PCA. It's like why are you doing that? Why are you going and like? So he grew up. I got to make sure I have this right. He grew up a Dodgers fan and was taking shots at his own people that he grew up, right?
Oh, he was taking shots at his own people. Yep.
I mean, I guess, dude. I mean, Dodgers fans, like LA fans in general, I don't think are really real sports fans. But he's not really wrong. But to Kieran's point, there's no need. Why?
There's no need, especially when you're a guy. PCA over the last 100 games is he's Marcus Semien in the box. He's not hitting. And he's looking like a fool in center field. Did you guys see that play in center field when he's going back, scaling the wall? He jumps the balls over here.
Yep,
he jumps over here, the ball's over there.
I think the juice in this series was just because they know the Dodgers are the team to beat, right? And the only way to, not that the regular season really matters, it comes down to October, but you want to assert your dominance against a team like that, right, Mikey? The Dodgers, when you go in there, sometimes the regular season games, if you're playing a team like the Dodgers, it just means a little bit more to these guys because they want to show that they can beat them. Am I wrong?
It's a confidence booster if you win now too, going into October, being like we know we can beat these guys. Like, yeah, it's a big time series. The juices get flowing more. The names are there. To your point, it's a great series. I didn't tune into any of the games. I'm not gonna lie, but it was all over my Twitter feed. So obviously, it was an exciting series.
For sure.
Bregman, definitely a guy I would have kept. Devias, Greg Breslow, he's a good player. Big hit.
It's a pretty solid replacement for Kyle Tucker. It's a pretty solid replacement.
Yeah, I mean, he's hitting. I mean, that was a deep home run too. That was a clutch homer.
And he
the one that Dansby hit on Friday was destroyed.
Oh God, I know. He got
that
all
ball
of
was
one.
Crushed.
Yeah, I mean the Cubs look legit, guys. I mean,
they are one of the contenders in the NL. Definitely,
they are a good team.
And the NL Central as a whole looks good.
Yes,
you got the Braves, the Dodgers, and and the Padres. There's
shout out to the Reds and the Pirates. I mean, those teams are doing great this year too.
Scrappy team.
Milwaukee's playing, hanging around. The Cardinals are still playing fine baseball. I feel like they'll fall off, but they're playing fine baseball.
They should fall off.
Yeah, they probably will.
This is a reality check that the Cubs are good. We both said it. The Dodgers are still the standard. They're still the team that everyone's chasing. But sticking with another team in the NL, as we move closer to the 1 hour mark, Kieran, you might want to do the gritty on their grave, but the Phillies are falling apart. They might be just as disappointing as the Mets. Currently, they sit at 9-19. They went on a 10-game losing streak, their worst since 1999. Trey Turner struggling, Alec Boehm struggling, Bryce Harper, he was one of the lone bright spots. He had 4 RBIs to end the streak, their losing streak. Their roster moves as of late. They brought Zach Wheeler back from the IL, from the minors, but they did send JT Realmuto to the IL. They released Taijuan Walker, which is on the last year of their contract. So they said, you know what, screw it. We'd rather you not pitch for us and we'll just pay you. Shout out DJ LeMahieu and Aaron Hicks. Johan Duran.
He's so bad.
He's so bad. Duran ended up on the IL. The difference is, right, with this Phillies team, comparatively to the other rough teams around the league, they have star power and they have big names, but they're not playing very good right now. And this team, you know, shout out Fred McAfee in the chat. He said Cora's up for grabs, right? Well, I think the Phillies might go and get him because they need answers right now. That team's too good. That team is too good to be that bad.
Someone definitely should. It's probably going to be someone from the NL East. But no, listen, I mean, I know we're going to get into this a little bit later, but like and you'll see where I go with this obviously a little bit later, or which side I'll be on. The Phillies right now, I would even argue that they might be playing like the Mets are playing some bad baseball. They're playing some really, really bad baseball. Like they're playing just as bad baseball as the Mets, and it's a crazy, crazy thing to see. These teams, the Mets, the Braves, and the Phillies, were like plus 120, plus 140, plus 160 to win the NL East. The Braves are up 10 on both of them. Are up 10 games on both of them.
Yep.
It is asinine to see.
Yeah.
But I mean, sure. I do think that the reason I think this is because right now the Phillies are just not getting like the pitching that they need. The pitching is not going deep enough into games, but it needs to stop soon because this can kill your team if it goes on for too long. I saw it with the Mets just last year, but the Mets were winning those games at the beginning. You're not losing them like this. If your pitching doesn't go deep enough and you're depleting your bullpen over time, that's going to catch up with you. It's still April, and this is where you can say it is still April. You said it, Evan. The stars are not yet producing for them. The pitching is not going deep enough. How serious? I don't know this. How serious is the Duran injury? Is it a 10-day IL? Is he out for the long haul?
If you and Mike keep talking, I can look that up for you.
But yeah, I mean, I do think that what the Phillies have right now is good enough. Like Wheeler coming back, I do think that eventually, like these starters are going to start going deeper, and they're going to start winning some games. They got plenty of guys. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Turner is going to pick it up this year. Boehm, I don't know if Boehm is that good.
Schwarber's going to be hitting bombs late in the season.
No, Schwarber's going to be bombs in June. Schwarber hits like 30 home runs every June. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Do you guys like that contract for a team like this? Do you think they should have gave him the 5/150?
Schwarber?
Yeah.
I like guys who hit. Yeah, I don't have many of them on my team, so yes, I like guys who hit.
I would love to have that guy back in Boston.
Yeah.
He's such a good baseball player.
Imagine if he was the Mets DH, he'd actually score some runs.
Same with the Sox a little bit, but I got the answer for the both of you. Duran is on the 15-day IL because of a strained left oblique, which is not what you want from a pitcher.
That's very bad.
Not good. So. He had an MRI on April 18th, so it was a little over a week ago. So he's already a couple days into that 15-day, but as you both know, obliques and pitchers don't mix.
Horrible.
God bless the Phillies because they need him.
They're going to be in a tough spot, then, man. Yeah, if you want to transition to the to the question, Evan, if we were to pick a team between the Mets and the Phillies that I think is more likely to turn around, I still think it's the Phillies. I still think that they have more going on for them, even with Duran going on the IL. The Phillies have won with this core without Duran before. They just added him. I think it was last year. They'll figure it out. They'll patch it up in the back end of the bullpen. They will start hitting this bad pitching. They're going to eat up on some bad teams eventually. Do I think they're going to be good enough to get themselves back into the playoffs? 9-19 is bad. It's really, really bad. You're 10 back of your division already. Without Duran, it's probably going to be pretty tough for them to get back into the playoffs. But if there is a team more likely, they just got way more going and way more offensive firepower, way more help in the pitching department. I feel like over the long haul, star power there than what the Mets have. So I do think that they would be more likely to get back into the mix and into the playoffs. I do not think either team is going to make the playoffs at all. I don't think either team finishes above 500 at this point anymore.
Mikey?
Tell you what, though, if these teams stay on the pace they're at, there is going to be some big names available at the trade deadline.
Yep.
And
who are you thinking?
Harper could very well be gone if the
Harper
Phillies...
could definitely be on the move. Wheeler would be on the block.
Yeah.
Real Muto would probably be on the block. If he's healthy.
Think about it, dude. The Sox would be selling Chapman. The Mets will be selling. Who knows who the Mets?
Turner would probably go on the block.
Like there's going to be stars available that time. So
who else do they have? Nola would definitely go on the block. He sucks, but Nola would go on the block.
All right,
if you look at the Mets end, Freddie would go on the block.
Let's each come up with one prediction of a star from either the Mets or the Phillies that we think will get traded at the deadline. Mike, I'll start with you. Who are you predicting?
Harper.
You think? All right. What team goes after him with that money?
I think. See, it's tough to tell because Tampa's not going to trade for anyone like that, even though they should get a star. They just don't do that. I don't know. I'd give it to. I don't think they want to trade him to the NL. So at the time, I don't know who's going to be competitive in the AL. I mean. I know the Yankees don't really have a need for him. They have a good first baseman, Ben Rice, and Stanton's their DH. It's tough to find a fit for him, but someone can use him. I'll tell you that. They might have to settle for that now. Maybe an AL Central team. I don't know.
The AL Central never fails.
He's got a
pair him up with J-Ram in Cleveland.
He's got a big contract though. That's gonna be tough to move, and he's got a lot of years left. But hey, I agree. If I could say that the Mets, if I think the Mets could trade Francisco Lindor, then I can sit here and agree with you that I think the Phillies, it's a chance that they could trade Harper or some of their other names if they are still sputtering at the deadline. I fully agree with you. Kieran, you make a prediction. Both of these teams, who can you see moving?
I got two from the Mets, and then I'll try to sing one up with the Phillies. I was just looking at my phone there where you were when you were going over there with Mike.
All right.
Clay Holmes to the Rays.
Okay.
I think the Mets are going to offload their pitching, and Freddie Peralta to the Orioles.
Get rid of Freddie okay. I mean, yeah, that makes
There's no need to extend him. I like Peralta. He's a fine pitcher. He's a good pitcher. He's a good pitcher. He is not what the Mets need for what the price he's asking for. Let him go. He's not a true ace. He's not. He's a good pitcher, not a true ace.
I agree.
Do you get a similar return in what you gave up for him?
I mean, Sproat has not looked good, and Jet Williams he's almost legally like a dwarf. So I'm okay with that trade, honestly.
Oh my god.
For the Phillies, I don't know. Do they have any pitchers they could give up? I'm looking. Oh yeah, no, Wheeler. Wheeler's my pick. If the Phillies, Wheeler, that's a legitimate one I think could go. And scratch that. I'll no Freddie. I'll say Wheeler to the Orioles.
Wheeler, okay.
Let's keep Freddie. And Jarren Duran gets moved as well, for sure.
You just took mine.
For a box of rocks.
You already went. You already went. That was mine. And that was mine. It was my turn.
Although it's so overdue and so obvious that
I was going to say, yeah, everyone's been saying this since basically COVID was a thing.
It may just never happen. So
who?
You're going to have to come up with another one, Evan.
Duran? Oh, you say Jared Duran?
Jarren Duran on the Red Sox.
Oh, I thought you meant Johan. I was to say.
Yeah, you go, Johan.
Yeah,
he could get traded if he's healthy.
Going back to the last episode,
he's pretty locked up though.
Yeah, I mean, you never know.
He's really good though too. Locked up for cheap, I think.
Who, Duran?
Yeah.
The Yankees.
Yeah.
Dodgers.
I mean,
that's the second worst option.
Diaz is out for a long time.
We're talking
that's right. Yeah, that's right. That's
right. The Cubs. He's going to the Cubs.
The Cubs, maybe maybe. I don't know if they'll keep him in the NL, but the Dodgers lost Edwin Diaz.
The Dodgers.
I know, but they just pull off random crap. You never can count them out on anything. They have the farm to do whatever they want. I don't know. I mean, dating back to last episode, I think that you have to take a really hard look at Lindor's contract. That is not me being a Yankee hater. The contract, if this is
contract's not bad. No, really not.
The contract for what it is, right? You have Soto, who's younger, and getting a lot of money. If this is going to be the core, or for the next 2 or 3 years, this is the team that's going to be around Soto.
The core is just Soto right now. Like,
but if you have an option to get an absolute haul for Francisco Lindor,
right? No, that's what I was saying.
Do you not take it? And I'm talking a mixture of extremely good young pitchers with maybe a mixture of some high upside position players that maybe you could flip in a different trade. You don't have to keep them. You can flip them.
You do, but now that he's hurt and is going to be out for as long as he is, like his value has never been lower than it is right now.
I know.
This especially is not the time to trade him. If he comes back, which I'm assuming he will at some point in the year, he's probably gonna rake at the end of the year in the meaningless baseball, spike his trade value up. That could maybe be when. And I don't want the Mets preface. I do not want the Mets to do this. He is my favorite Met that I've ever had the privilege to watch. I would be gutted to see him traded, but the position that the team is in and where I can see the next time they're going to be competitive, I'm worried we've wasted him. And like you said, Evan, you want to get the value that you deserve back for him instead of holding on to him until he's 36, 37, and he's got 3 years left on that deal, still making $60, $70 million, and it's going to be tough to move for anything of value.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. And then on the Red Sox, I 100% see Chapman getting dealt to a contender. His arm, he's still got it.
Talk about Dodgers.
Maybe. That I would be afraid of. That makes complete sense.
Story's getting traded too. Story
probably going to get traded. They're
gone.
I could see them
He'll be traded for a box of rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, literally. Yeah. He'll
be traded for a box of rocks.
They'll DFA him at this point.
They might DFA Story just because they don't want to deal with this crap anymore.
They're done with him, yeah.
And Whitlock's another one who's going to be gone too.
Whitlock you can get good value for. He's probably very valuable on the market.
Definitely.
That'll do it. I mean, we're around the 1 hour mark. This was kind of a State of the Union Diamond Dysfunction episode. We're missing Dan, we're missing Jared, but right now, two of the team's most known franchises in the Boston Red Sox and the New York Mets, they're sputtering. The Red Sox clean house, full of their coaches. Alex Cora gone. Is he going to go to New York? Is he going to go to Philadelphia? The Red Sox just look like they're looking for the future. The Mets dealing with injuries. Lindor on the IL. They're trying to get it together to give Mendy another shot at his job, but he's next on the chopping block. The Yankees right now look like one of the better teams in the AL. The Phillies absolutely stink. And the Dodgers and Cubs are, of course, looking pretty good. Boys, I like to call this a little bit of a State of the Union episode just because there's so much going on with our teams. Thank you for joining in tonight. I'm sorry that you guys are going through this so early in the season. I'm sorry.
I'm in Kunsalina, Bugle. It's beautiful. I'm in Kunsalina. It is lovely here.
Yeah. At this point, it's not even hatred on my end. It's just like, damn, you're like, it's April and the things already
There's nothing to hate. Everything we're saying is like, yeah, we suck. It's like, what are you going to do? Pile on more?
No, I'm not even trying. I could. I'm not.
No, I know.
I don't even want to because I feel terrible. But that will conclude episode 7 of Diamond Dysfunction, State of the Union. Tune in next week or this week, the end of the week. We'll do more analysis of your favorite teams. We'll keep up to date with the series over the next couple days. Make sure to subscribe, like the video, share the video. Check us out on Instagram, TikTok for all of our reels. We clip them up. We post them. Make sure to follow us. And boys, we'll get back to them next time. Thank you, everyone. Peace.
Go Celtics.
Hey, bleed green. There you go.